Aloha, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. This is the hearing on the House Committee on Tourism. Today is Tuesday, April 1st, 2025. This is for the 10 a.m. agenda. And we're here at the Hawaii State Capitol Conference Room 423 to hear one measure. Let me go through the housekeeping rules. In order to allow as many people to testify as possible, there will be a 2-minute time limit per testifier. Because morning hearings must adjourn prior to the noon floor session, not all testifiers may have the opportunity to testify. In the event, please know that your written testimony will be considered by the committee. Please keep yourself muted and your video off while waiting to testify and after your testimony is complete. The Zoom chat function will allow you to chat with the technical staff only. Please use the chat only for technical issues. If you are disconnected unexpectedly, you may attempt to rejoin the meeting. If disconnected while presenting testimony, you may be allowed to continue if time permits. Please note the House is not responsible for any bad internet connections on the testifier's end. In the event of a network failure, it may be necessary to reschedule the hearing or schedule a meeting for decision-making. In that case, an appropriate notice will be posted. Please avoid using any trademark or copyrighted images. Please refrain from profanity or uncivil behavior and show aloha. Okay, great. Thank you for bearing with me. First measure on the agenda is HCR 192 HD1, requesting the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism to establish a Native Hawaiian Economic Development Working Group. First to testify, we have Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism Director Tokioka.
Good morning, chairs, vice chairs, members of the committee. DBID, I'm sorry, I'm James Konani Tokioka, DBID. We stand strong on our testimony for this resolution. I do have to correct something in the first paragraph, the second sentence, and I'm sure you guys read our testimony, but it says which request the shouldn't be there, so I'm correcting it now. But what I wanted to add is we would request that the original title and language of the bill be put back to where it was. As a Native Hawaiian myself, I understand why it was put in there, but let me just read the second paragraph of what we're asking for. Is while the title of this measure and the name of the working group prior to the amendments is preferred, it is imperative for the working group to identify economic development opportunities that can benefit Native Hawaiians, with gaming as one potential pathway for economic development. I think with a reso like this, you can get as much information from the group that's going to be tasked to do that, and then you cannot make bad decisions with too much information, and I think this is a perfect opportunity to get that information. So thank you very much for the opportunity to testify, and we look forward to any questions you may have.
Next to testify, we have the Department of Prosecuting Attorney, Prosecutor Elms, in person.
Hi. Good morning, Chair Tam, Vice Chair Templo. We're in opposition to this. I think the purpose is great. Native Hawaiians have gotten the short end of the stick for forever. But please, not gambling. There's so many problems with it, which is why over the years the legislature has looked at it in good economic times and bad economic times and decided it's just not a good fit for Hawaii. Given the fact that gambling is legal all across the country except in Utah, I don't think there's a single tourist who's going to come here to gamble. So if they do go gambling when they're here, it's cannibalization of spending money. Instead of going to a local store, instead of going to Roy's for dinner, instead of going to the Polynesian Cultural Center, they're gambling. So there's no net increase. And so and in particular, the sports gambling is the scariest thing I have seen in years. This gives people a casino in their hand in the privacy of their living room. You watch an NFL game now, half the commercials seem like they're pro-gambling. And I just think in a few years, we're going to have a whole generation of problem gamblers. So with respect, I'd ask you to have this working group, but without the gambling, and help Hawaiians in other ways. Thank you.
Next off, we have Nation of Hawaii, Brandon Maka'awa'a.
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, committee members. My name is Brandon Maka'awa'a, and I serve as Vice President of the Nation of Hawaii. Previous meetings, I've spoken against this bill because it was led by corporations, and something like gaming, we only have one opportunity to kind of crack this can open, so we have to do it responsibly and the right way. And I'm now in strong support of this bill because the discussion is not just about gaming, but it's about economic opportunities for Hawaiians. I believe we are being affected most by these federal cuts that are coming. We're never against economic stability for our people or the state. We're against corporations controlling that destination for us. For too long, we have watched others profit from our lands and stories while our voices were sidelined. It's not just about inclusion, but it's about justice. It is about restoring balance, and Native Hawaiians must lead these conversations, especially when development involves lands that carry historical, legal, and cultural weight to us. I applaud the members for removing the corporations from this bill. I believe if we're going to make policies for Hawaii, our people need to be at the table and not the people that look to benefit from these bills. So I'm in strong support and urge the committee to pass it forward with Native Hawaiians leading efforts to determine our economic future. Mahalo.
Next, we have Nation of Hawaii, John Garcia on Zoom.
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the committee. My name is John K. Aloha Garcia. I am the Second Vice President, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Minister of Commerce for the Nation of Hawaii. And I stand in strong support of HCR 192 HD1. I speak to you today from the unceded homelands of the Kumeyaay Nation, now known as San Diego, attending the 40th Annual Indian Gaming Conference on behalf of the Nation of Hawaii and the Ministry of Commerce. This gathering is a powerful reminder of what Indigenous-led economic development can look like when it's rooted in sovereignty, supported by policy, and backed by community. Being here amongst tribal leaders, economic visionaries, and global partners reinforces the importance of Hawaii's participation in these larger movements. We're not isolated. We're deeply connected to a growing network of Indigenous nations who are reclaiming our rightful place in the global economy, and we bring valuable insights, relationships, and cultural frameworks to the table. For too long, Native Hawaiians have been excluded from decisions that shape Hawaii's economic future. The imbalance that has allowed others to profit from our lands while communities are left behind. That imbalance is no longer. The resolution is a step toward correcting that injustice. Native Hawaiians are not a box to check. We're not an afterthought or a stakeholder that can be consulted last. We're the Indigenous people of this land, and our future must be built with leadership at the center, with our leadership at the center. Too often, corporate interests only engage when profit is on the table. They've opposed inclusion in the past, but show up today to shape the market. That should concern every policymaker in this room. Who benefits and who's shaping the rules and who's carrying the consequences? But this resolution provides a pathway forward, one where fairness, cultural integrity, and community-driven leadership are not just goals, but requirements. It moves us closer to true self-determination and economic justice. So I support HCR 192 HD1 because it reflects Pono governance. Let's commit to a Hawaii where Native Hawaiian voices are respected, elevated, and empowered, not just locally, but throughout the global Indigenous economic landscape. Mahalo for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Next, we have Iron Workers Stabilization Fund, Cody Sula in person.
Cody wasn't able to make it. We are actually going to stand on Mr. Parris's testimony with one comment, including labor's voice in his process will ensure that any decision regarding legalized gaming are made with the best interests of the Hawaii workers and communities in mind. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Ms. Leilani Lomi Khan, individual, on Zoom. Not present. Next, we have Pohunua Bumpy Kanahele in person. Oh,
Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. My name is Pu'uno Dennis Bumpy Kanahele. I serve as President of the Nation of Hawaii and strongly support HCR 192. Resolution reflects a truth we have always carried as Native Hawaiians. We are not stakeholders, we are the indigenous people of this land. The lands being discussed are part of our inheritance. We never relinquished them and we never surrendered our kuleana to protect them. Far too long, decisions about Hawaii's economy have been made without us. This must end. This resolution takes a step toward restoring what was lost. It centers Native Hawaiian voices in conversations where we have always belonged. The U.S. Public Law 103-150 was clear. It told the truth. This working group gives us a path to act on that truth, a path of reconciliation and restitution. We are not asking for permission. We are standing in our rightful place. Question is whether the state is ready to walk with us. We stand ready to lead. I support this resolution because it points towards the truth, partnership, and responsibility. Mahalo for allowing me to testify.
thank you. Okay, next we have Miss Leilani Tandy on Zoom. Not present. Next we have Dwayne Bautista in person. Not present. And last registered testifier, Mel Kahele in person.
Sure, I'm just going to stand on my.
Okay, great. Thank you. Seeing that those are the last testifiers, is there anyone else in person that's wanting to testify? Anyone on Zoom? No, seeing none. Members, questions? Representative Holt?
For the prosecutor. Thank you for being here today. Did you say in your testimony that you don't believe one person will come here to gamble at all?
I have a hard time seeing tourists come here to gamble. Yeah, I mean, there may be a few, but not a large number. So it would be local people going to the casino.
Okay, so then what you said in your testimony was not true then? That you believe 0 people would come to gamble?
Oh, no, when they're here, some will gamble, but I can't think of why anyone would specifically come here with the idea of gambling.
Thank you.
Sure.
Members, any other questions? I have a question for Director. Is there
Yes,
a
Vice Chair.
way that the department is able to monitor any type of online gaming right now?
That might be a better question for the prosecutor. But no, DBED wouldn't know that. I think law enforcement may. That's why I refer to the prosecutor. But I'm not going to say that there's no way, but I can go back and check. But I don't know of any way right now that I know for a fact that right now we're not doing any of that because we don't have those resources.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else has any other questions? Okay, we're gonna go into recess before decision making. Recess. Thank you, everyone. We are convening our 10 a.m. agenda on the House Committee on Tourism. For this resolution, the recommendation is to pass with amendments. I would like to add the working groups, one representative from the Council of Native Hawaiian Advancement, a representative from the Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce, and the representative from the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. And in the further resolved section, paragraph number 2, I'd like to amend the paragraph to replace and include the language to study the definition of gaming and look at all options to spur economic opportunity. Members, any questions, comments, concerns? Representative Todd.
Thank you. Just a brief comment. I just wanted to thank everyone for the thoughtful conversation we had in this hearing and also in prior hearings on, it's probably the first time since I've been here that we've had this much discussion around it. You know, I think in order for the legislature to take any action or not take any action, we need to be better informed. We need a group to convene, to make recommendations. I think the biggest thing for me in launching any sort of new industry, but also in assessing our lack of a current industry, is, you know, I was told 6-7 years ago something that stuck with me, which was that Hawaii exports dollars and imports expertise. And a lot of our industries are functioning that way. There's an opportunity in launching something to actually retain revenue here that is currently being exported to places like Las Vegas, create a more circular version of that industry. And I'm all for it, and hopefully we can have a good outcome. Thanks.
Thank you. Members, any other further comments, questions, concerns? Okay, seeing none, Chair for the vote.
Voting on House Concurrent Resolution 192 HD1, recommendation is to pass as an HD2. Chair votes aye, Vice Chair votes aye. Rep. Holt? Aye. Rep. Hussey? Aye. Rep. Iligan is excused. Rep. Todd? Aye. Rep. Matsumoto? Your recommendation is adopted.
Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. Meeting is adjourned.